Hi guys, Lewis from AFGolfStore Peterborough here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more today about an in-depth product that we have featured before in the brand new Graphite design VF shaft. So VF in this case standing for Victory Force. We've talked a little bit about this being quite handle stiff as a shaft, so it will suit somebody who wants something to be a little bit more stable under their hands. And then going into the mid and tip section, it gets even stiffer. Now, one of the things we maybe didn't talk about with this design and where it's going to be helpful is for not just, like we said, you can have this work for the guys who want something to feel smoother. You can have this work for the guys who want to have something a bit more aggressive as well. So, I mean, case in point, very well known now that Tiger Woods has been using this. He's using this in driver, he's using this in fairway wood. You've got Justin Thomas using the 50g X version in his driver as well. So Tiger and Justin, very, very different in terms of the aggression that you'll note with them. The idea behind this is that you've seen it certainly with the Ventus profiles starting a few years ago, moving into hazardous, Graphite design catching up with their model as well. You're looking at what we generally refer to as kind of dual torque designs, where you can have something that is a little bit softer up by the handle. And torque for us, you'll hear a lot with torque in driver shafts and shafts in general, relating back to, oh, it makes it stiff or it changes where the golf ball goes. And yes and no, it can and it can't do. But for the most part, what torque is going to do for us, it's going to really kind of illustrate the differences in feel. So having something quite high torque as a shaft, you're going to feel it playing softer or whippier as you might kind of feel it, whereas having something low torque, it's going to feel a lot more rigid. Now, this isn't actually really going to impact the numbers like we say, but what it will give you is a feedback difference. So for the golfer, again, that doesn't want to feel something kind of harsh, rod-like underneath their hands, having something with that high torque up here is going to work better. And then the idea behind our dual torque design is that as we get up into this tip section, we can have something where it gets really, really stiff, so you get your resistance to twisting. So there's a lot of talk about the idea with the QIs or the Ping 10K this year, where we're talking about resistance to twisting, so the higher moment of inertia, so that we don't get as much twisting on off-center strikes. And that's really where some of that dual torques is supposed to come in. If we have something that is way stiffer down by this tip section, it's going to resist any twisting that happens on off-center strikes. Now, for you, it's a choice of whether that would actually work better for you, whether it's coming from the head design or whether it's coming from the shaft design, or like you'll see in obviously Tiger's bag at the moment, combination of both together, having both the QI model, although being Tiger is in the LS version, so our low spin model, or it's whether we go into actually having the shaft do the work at the same time as well. So that's really kind of what we're expecting to look at and why we'd maybe put this product into your hands, where we know you've maybe got plenty of speed because this is still stiff, don't get me wrong, but you're going to get something that's going to help out with the off-center strikes for high swing speed and aggressive players as well. I mean, personal experience in the store, this has been really, really popular for us. There's always the Tiger Woods effect with anything we do, where it just has to be seen in Tiger's hands on a practice green and you will instantly get hype around it. So, I mean, for us typically, while we do obviously fit both upgrade shafts and we fit standard fit shafts as well, this has seen a massive increase in sales just for the fact that people want to try it to start with for the Tiger effect, and then they see how good the performance is as well. Typical kind of Graphite design in terms of they want something that feels soft and smooth. They do not want something that feels like a rod. It's never really been their MO. But like I said, you get that from this kind of shaft feel, and it matches in with the line of you can have this in like matching close into DI, the XC, the CQ. There's a bunch of shafts that you could marry this in within in different setups with fairway and driver combo. But yeah, it's really there for that golfer where we want to have that extra little bit of stability down at the tip section. Generally kind of lower launch, lower spin is what you'll label it as, but it's the stability more than anything. So I think the biggest thing we can say is if you're a Tiger Woods fan, or if you're just curious about the shaft from where we've talked about it, absolutely worth coming into the store to try it. In terms of what we carry in the store, we're limited at the moment to 60 grams just because of how popular it's been. There's not that many demo shafts kicking about. That being said, Justin Thomas is a great example. He's using that 50 gram like we've talked about. but we can go into 50 gram regular, we can go all the way up to 80 gram TX and everything in between. So you've got kind of real variety with this one. In terms of how it actually plays on the golf course, if I blue P to you, this is one I made earlier. So I play TSR 3 9 degree. I've been using this since it came out in October. I'm just super impressed with stability. So personal experience, absolutely worthwhile giving it a try, see if it works in your bag.